Now, the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning. Centralized governance system must change. This is coming from the Otuhene Osajifo Amotia Oforipenin. Of course, you know he's celebrating his 25th anniversary on the stool. He said that with the governance system that excluded 75% of Ghanaians from the opportunity to participate in the governance of their own country, that's problematic. He believes Ghana will continue to experience what he calls baby step development if we are not going to see any significant development, because most of the rural people did not have access to job opportunities to earn decent income. They did not pay taxes to contribute to nation building. That is the other point he was also making, which is true. We sought to put in place a devolution, which means that you devolve power, you devolve political authority, you devolve financial authority, and you devolve decision making too. But over the years, we spend quality time centralizing. So instead of, for example, having the district assemblies have their own programs, and we started with what was called the composite budget. So a district has a budget. Yes, somebody sits in Accra and determines that district's budget is useless. So let me give them what I want to give them and cap the amount of money too. Even when MP Benjamin Kodo of Whole Central and Co. went to court, we were still not complying with those dictates that we should let the monies go to the districts, let them determine and decide their own destiny, what they want to do with that. And again, if you build them properly, if you run the structures that we have at the districts, most of them are not in the position to raise the amount of money they are supposed to raise as IGF because they are not the structures are not put in place properly. So we have to rely on the big ones in Accra, Kumasi, the Secondary Takoradi Municipal Assembly, the big ones to pretend that they are doing their own things. We need to rethink proper development in this republic if we want to really deal with the issue of decentralizing. And more importantly, when you have government services being seen as, if you are not in Accra,
you can't get access to
come on.
It appears that the decentralization whole program is just not working, you know. Where everything rather comes back to
we are in Ghana. Nobody should move out of their district to get a passport. Nobody.
We have to
should move out of their district to get a birth certificate. Nobody should move out of their district. Yeah, well, because sometimes you need to do proper verification. How are you able to do that?
Yeah.
Anyway, but this is we talk about them. We are not,
enforcing.
Yeah. And the problem is that because the people are not electing their DC, the DC feels like he's serving the central government.
Yeah, the president,
so,
actually.
Yeah, everything he's doing is in support of that central government.
Or is aimed at pleasing
the president.
Yeah.
The Minerals Commission boss said some time ago, I serve the president. So I think the president happy with me. But he's forgotten that the president, he serves us.
Parasites the people,
actually. We put him there. But his agent he has recruited believes that he actually is supposed to be responsible to him. So we should look at these things, and we can start from making sure that people elect their own district chief executive, so that they can cite them like they cite the MPs if they don't like them.
You vote them out.
The same thing. They should have a way of sacking them without waiting for 4 years to vote. Anyway, that's a very long time to endure.
Midterm elections.
No, it's a long time. Seriously,
it's a long expensive, and that's the argument.
It's a long time to endure incompetence. Seriously, 4 good years. Now one district chief executive, he's there now, not doing anything useful. For example, show me how many of these DCs have taken the data, the decentralized data of the statistical service for each of the districts, breaking down where the needs are, data they could have collected on their own, and taking that data and say, okay, I will solve every 3 months, I'll solve one problem. If it's provision of, let's say, a borehole for every area where it has been determined that they don't have water. I don't know if you get my point.
And I stand to educate it. They also had the District Security Council, right?
Yes!
So in terms of even enforcing this whole Galamsey thing, if it was actually working, you don't need somebody in Accra to enforce the laws and get the security guys at the local level to get things working.
Do you now see how much effort we put into not solving problems?
Yeah.
It's not because we can't do. We direct deliberate effort into not solving them. Because when solving it is actually easier, yet we don't solve it, that means we've put effort into not doing it.
That's true. I mean, because you think about it this way. If the president felt that all mining districts where the Galamsey is happening today, he wanted to sack every single DC there because they are not performing. It'll be very easy to do so.
Absolutely.
Because you know the areas, you know who is in charge of the places, and you expect them to work.
Yeah.
But we are supposed to now fix the problem of Galamsey from Accra. That is why it is important to do the protest from Accra.
Do you think the problem is that the president has no idea who is doing Galamsey and who isn't in his government?
The argument here is about if the district executive, the chief executives and local governance system was working, this shouldn't have been a problem at all.
If that guy felt he was only responsible to the people who will vote him and out, he will not be waiting for executive president to give him directives.
The reason why I'm even asking these questions is because of this story, which was published on peacefmonline.com in September 2018. The headline was Ministry to Name and Sack MMDCEs Engaged in Galamsey. The government has identified some metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives who are involved in illegal mining, popularly referred to as Galamsey. The Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Hajia Alima Mahama, who made this known, added that government will soon name and sack all of those appointees. According to the minister, the involvement of MMDCEs in illegal mining was thwarting the government's effort in the fight against the menace. She said the government has all the names of all MMDCEs engaged in Galamsey and will release them at the appropriate time. Haji Alima Mahama disclosed this when she addressed a retreat for MMDCEs in Accra Monday. The retreat was to sensitize the MMDCs on government's roadmap to lifting the ban on all small-scale mining activities.
Which day was that?
This was 2018.
Yes, 2018.
Yes.
Because I knew that she's now Ghana's ambassador too.
No.
Yes. I mean, we know that.
We kept on asking, so where is the list, please? How many have you sacked?
Thank you.
We kept on asking.
Did they ever sack any MMDCs?
In fact,
for this,
not
if
to
it was
my
done, they
understanding.
didn't release the list. Maybe
If
it was done,
First and foremost, they didn't release the list. Okay. Secondly, they didn't actually name anybody that they said, we have sacked this guy because he was involved. The only time we heard somebody who was being sacked or being queried in connection with that was the DC who was asked to go and solve his personal problems.
That was 2022,
Yes. Even since that time. But they didn't name, they didn't say it openly that it was connected to the matter.
Exactly.
Except that when the issue came up,
they say he's going for a funeral or something, so Onkomra. So
anyway.
The point here, though, is that they had the names. They had the names. That's what they said.
Yeah.
So it's not like they had to go and do an investigation. They knew who was behind it, but they did nothing.
Let's look at the Daily Guide. The lead story: Akufo-Addo declares war on Galamsey, military destroy 18 funds and other equipment. Interesting for me, very interesting. What has happened? Because when some would say that, why do you have to wait till this end to go back again and do all these things? If they were actually working, things were working. Could you have gotten this stage? And whether this thing would actually be sustained or a 9-day wonder, or had to take organized labor to press hard for these things to be commenced again or something.
Well, I mean, I get your point. We were just irresponsible. We sat down and pretended, and you see how they said these are additional deployments. But it is evident that these people are the only people on the ground. Why are the previous people who are deployed there? If it takes these people to go to the Brim River, and the people you previously deployed to Brim River, who are they? Which people did they sack from the place?
And there have been reports in the past by certain chiefs that we report these things to the security agencies only for them to say that there's an instruction from so and so to let the person go.
Yeah.
So in terms of the guys at the community level also taking action, yes, they took action to try and deal with this challenge. So it looks like the back stops with someone to let this thing work.
Centralized Galamsey fight. Anyway.
Two other lists of 2024 elections. EC begins ballot papers printing today. A Nigerian woman caged for human trafficking, and police say we did not facilitate smuggled cocoa. That says the Ghana Please lead stories on the Daily Guide. On the back page, nobody's business if I smoke that is coming from...
Coming from who? Coming from who?
Oh, but it's
oh, but say the name.
Mention the name, man. We are telling us a story from the back page, and we are moving on.
We are all waiting for the name.
I don't even know the person.
Please don't move on. We want to hear the
Black Star Sudan frustrates Ghana in Accra.
That is not the story you are interested in.
Almost
listen.
greatest